I never thought 7 days could undo 7 years of marriage. But that's exactly what happened when my wife, Anna, decided she had found her so-called dream man. One Monday morning, she handed me divorce papers with a smirk, saying, "I'm finally choosing happiness, Daniel. You'll be fine." I didn't argue, didn't beg, didn't even ask who he was. Something in her cold tone told me the answers wouldn't heal me. She signed away our vows like they meant nothing, and within a week she was walking down another aisle, wearing a new dress, holding another man's hand, while I was left with silence. Her new husband? A wealthy entrepreneur named Richard, smooth, charismatic, and flashy. He drove a car worth more than our house and spoke like he was the king of the world. Anna used to complain about my simple life, my steady but modest job as an architect, the way I preferred quiet evenings over expensive parties. She wanted glitter, and Richard provided it. Or at least, that's what she thought. The first few weeks after the divorce, I felt hollow. 7 years of my life had been discarded like yesterday's news. But instead of drowning in bitterness, I forced myself to focus on my work, on rebuilding. The truth was, deep down, I was grateful I hadn't begged her to stay. If someone could leave me in 7 days, they were never mine to begin with. But karma has a way of working faster than we expect. 3 months after their wedding, I got a call from an old mutual friend, Sarah. She asked, "Have you heard what's happening with Anna and Richard?" I hadn't, and frankly, I hadn't cared to. But Sarah couldn't wait to tell me. Richard had been arrested for fraud. He wasn't some genius entrepreneur. He was a con man who made his living by scamming investors and women alike. Anna wasn't his first bride, not even his second. She was his third, each marriage ending the same way, with him taking everything and vanishing. This time, though, he didn't vanish. The authorities caught him. And Anna? She was left broke, humiliated, and desperate. I didn't feel joy when I heard the news, at least, not immediately. What I felt was a strange kind of closure. The woman who once looked down on me for not being flashy enough had chosen a man who sparkled like gold, but was nothing more than dust. The irony was brutal. A week later, I ran into Anna at the grocery store. She looked different. The glow, the arrogance, the smugness, it was all gone. She looked smaller, tired, almost broken. She approached me hesitantly, like a child who'd done something wrong. "Daniel," she whispered, avoiding my eyes. "Can we talk?" I almost laughed. Months ago, she had told me she was choosing happiness with Richard. Now here she was, standing in front of me, happiness shattered. Still, I agreed to sit with her at a nearby cafe. She told me everything. How Richard had drained her accounts, how she had sold her jewelry to help with his business, how she ignored every red flag because he promised her the world. And then, when the truth came out, she lost not just her money but her reputation. Her family was furious, her friends were gossiping, and she had nowhere to go. "I made a mistake," she said finally, her eyes glassy. "You were always stable, kind, safe. I thought I wanted more, but you were enough. I see that now." For a moment, I almost pitied her. But then I remembered the cold way she shoved those divorce papers into my hands. The way she said, "You'll be fine," as if my love for her was disposable. And now, when her dream man turned nightmare, she wanted me to be her safe harbor again. I sipped my coffee and shook my head. "Anna, you didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. And choices have consequences. You chose him over me. Now you're living with what comes after." Her lip trembled. "So you won't forgive me?" I leaned back. "Forgiveness isn't the issue. I don't hate you. I just don't love you anymore. And I won't rescue someone who pushed me away for glitter that turned out to be glass." The silence between us was heavy. She realized then that the safety net she thought I'd always be wasn't there anymore. She had burned that bridge herself. As I walked away from that cafe, I felt lighter than I had in years. Not because she suffered, but because I had finally let go. Life has a strange way of rewarding patience. Within months, my career took off. I landed a massive project that doubled my income. More importantly, I met someone new, someone genuine. Emma was nothing like Anna. She didn't care about expensive cars or glamorous parties. She cared about laughter, kindness, and building something real together. Meanwhile, word spread about Anna. She struggled to find work, struggled to regain her family's trust, struggled to live with the shame of being conned by her own choices. People whispered behind her back at social gatherings. The very attention she once craved became the source of her downfall. And that's when I truly understood karma. It doesn't always come with thunder or vengeance. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it just lets people trip over their own greed. Anna divorced me and married her dream man in 7 days. But karma didn't wait long to show her that dreams built on lies always turn into nightmares. And me? I didn't need revenge. I just needed to move forward. Because the best justice is living a life so full of peace and love that the past looks like nothing more than a bad chapter in an otherwise beautiful story.